Right, welcome to another brewing video. Today I'm brewing up another recipe from this book here, Brew Your Own British Real Ale. Tons of recipes in here. I'm actually brewing up the Timothy Taylor Boltmaker Bitter. And I bought this kit rather conveniently from the Worcester Hop Shop. So it's an exact copy of this recipe that's in this book. Everything comes pre-weighed out, all in the bags, all the hops and the malts that you need. It even comes with the yeast. So it's a great way of buying the recipes without having weird bits left over of random malts that you kind of never end up using. So everything is pre-weighed, there's no waste, there's no leftovers, it's exactly how you need it. So this is the 23 litre version of the recipe. So what comes in the bag is 3.67 kilograms of Maris Otter malt, 195 grams of crystal malt. It doesn't specify which crystal malt that is, but the actual bag looks quite dark, so I would say probably like a medium crystal malt, and 31 grams of black malt. The hops that are supplied conveniently all weighed out, so there's two hop additions, and it's all Golding hops. So the first charge is 42 grams, goes in at the start, and 14 grams for the last 10 minutes. Now it feels like whole hops rather than pellets, but it's vacuum packed, so it's difficult to tell, but we'll find that out shortly. I've actually got the grains mashing at the moment, so they're all in my kettle mashing, brewing a bag as I normally do. You get a packet of SO4 yeast, 12 grams of that, and it even comes with a Protafloc tablet. So you get everything you need to brew this beer. So as I say, this is weighed out to make 23 litres, a 23 litre batch. However, because I use a brew in a bag system, it's quite inefficient. So I do full volume, no sparge, and if I'm lucky, I'll probably get 70% efficiency. So what I'm actually doing is I've adjusted this to actually brew a 20 litre batch. So I punched all of this into Brewfather, and it tells me I should get the same ABV. I'll probably get a little bit higher by scaling it down to a 20 litre batch. And this also suggests a boil of, I think it's 60 minutes. Yeah, I think it's 60 minutes. And I'm only going to do a 30-minute boil. So I should get roughly the same amount of bitterness from brewing it slightly short and having a shorter boil time. So that's the plan. So although I'm only brewing a 20 litre batch from a 23 litre kit, I should get roughly the same beer at the end, is what I'm saying. So hopefully you get that point. Right, so that is currently mashing at the moment. So as soon as that is ready, I'm going to bring it up to the boil, add in my first hop addition, which is the 42 grams of Goldings. Yeah, and hopefully it turns out well. So I'm actually planning on, after this is fermented, putting this into a pressure barrel, because nights are drawing in, it's well into autumn now, and I'm starting to hanker after those nice sort of malty bitters. And in my personal opinion, there's no better way to serve them homebrew style through a pressure barrel. So it's probably as close as you can get to a proper British cask ale, or how it's served at least, with that nice spritzy carbonation, nice creamy head, etc. So yeah, a much maligned sort of way of packaging your beer using pressure barrels, but touch wood, I've never had any problems with my king keg. The only problem with it is that it's difficult to use in the summer because it's difficult to keep cool. So perfect for this weather. Chuck it outside or in the shed, and it comes out nice. So that's the plan. Once it's fermented, straight into the king keg, and let that condition for a few weeks, and then it'll be ready to serve. So I'll take a little bit of footage on the way, and I'll see you at the end for the tasting. All right, cheers. Right, so my mash is finished. I'm now just bringing the water up to the boil. It's nearly at boiling point now. I've got my hops ready, so I'm using these kind of reusable nylon bags. You can pick these up from the supermarket. They're like reusable veg bags for about 10p, but they make ideal hop bags, especially when you're using these whole hops, as it turned out. They were in those packets. So got me 42 grams and I think it was the 12 grams in there of East Kent Golding. They smell really nice actually, and they're sort of last year's harvest, so they're nice and fresh. Yeah, so once this is up to the boil, I chuck in my first hop addition, and that'll be in there for 20 minutes before the next one goes in. Okay, in with my first charge, the first hop addition, 42 grams of East Kent Goldings. Okay, so there's 10 minutes left in the boil. I've got my wort chiller in there, which is sanitising. I'm going to now put in the ProFlock tablet that was supplied, and my final hop addition, which is the 14 grams of East Kent Golding. So yeah, 10 minutes left, and then I'll start the chilling process. Seen the pour. I've had no problems with that pressure barrel. I think the secret really is just to not do the seals up too tight. Don't put too much priming sugar in it. You can't really go wrong. I know that people seem to think they fail a lot, and people don't get on with them, but if you treat them right, you have no problems. And this is the closest you're going to get to a proper English cask ale, homebrew style. So easy, there's no bottling. I love the simplicity of it. You kind of put your sugar in, put it somewhere warm for a week or so, and then I've just had this sitting in the shed for about, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks now. Probably could do it with a few more weeks conditioning, to be perfectly honest, but you know, couldn't resist the temptation of giving it a little sample. It's a sort of dark evening. I say evening, it's only 4:15 and it's already getting dark here, so it's Friday. It's exactly the sort of beer that's calling me at the moment. A lovely proper English bitter, and yeah, as you can see, it's a lovely sort of, I don't know, mid-amber colour. Got that sort of spritzy carbonation that you get from it being served from the pressure barrel, exactly how you'd probably get a beer if you went to a nice English pub and asked for a pint of cask ale. This is what you'd expect it to get. So all boxes ticked so far. I'm pretty pleased with that. It's, you know, there's a head on it. It's a nice kind of loose head like you'd expect to get on a cask conditioned ale. So, you know, you're not expecting a big foamy head. What I expect is this to leave some nice creamy lacing on the side of the glass as I take a few sips. Yeah, so appearance wise, perfect. It's exactly what I was hoping for and yearn for this kind of time of year. So yeah, in terms of aroma, there's a really nice sort of floral aroma coming from the East Kent Golding hops. Really, really nice. And sort of a sweet maltiness coming from, obviously, the malts and the crystal. Oh, it's really nice. It smells really nice. So I'm going to dive in. Yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I've had this sat in the shed. It's not freezing cold. It's probably about 9-10 degrees. And in my opinion, that's exactly how this kind of beer should be served. As I say, it's not sort of fizzy, it's not well carbonated, but there's a nice sort of spritzy carbonation to it, which you can't get from kind of kegging and bottling. You can only get that really from doing it in a pressure barrel, all those sort of beer in a bag type things. Yeah, it's really nice. Very, very quaffable. There's a nice bitterness running through it. It actually finished a little bit higher than I was expecting. So after all that talk about, you know, inefficient brew in a bag brewing that I do, this actually finished at 4.6. And I think the original Boltmaker comes out about 4.2, or at least that's what it is in the bottles. So it's a bit stronger than the normal one, but I'm not complaining. It's still really, really nice, drinkable, quaffable bitter. So yeah, I'm glad I did it. It's nice to go back to these kind of old school style beers, something a little bit different to the norm. And as I say, as the nights start drawing in and gets a bit cooler, this is the type of beer I want to be drinking. So I'm really happy with this, how it turned out. And for the price, I think it was £13 maybe for that kit. I mean, can't grumble. I know I brewed it short, so 20 litres, whatever that is, 35 pints or something like that for 13 quid. I mean, the more you drink, the more you save. It's as simple as that. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this and maybe a few more this evening, and get on the English bitters. It's a cracking beer, simplicity, you know, in its finest, and these sort of things have stood the test of time for a reason, and you know, I really hope more people brew this kind of thing and enjoy them like they should be. So cheers everyone.